I would love to tell you that I still have that blue Bionicle. But dude, honestly, what I think is it's probably in the garage somewhere, and I've already searched it like 3 times looking for something else, and I've yet to see a blue Bionicle. So
you're not gonna go find it, search for it one day, and build Toa Gali?
No, I don't have the instructions, man. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
The instructions are absolute. Kyle, I went out of my way to pay $40 for one that had the instructions.
You did? What? Genuinely, was I don't
remember how much it was exactly.
Well, no. It's more so the fact that like it had instructions.
I don't know if it had instructions, but I definitely wanted one that was still in the canister. So if it didn't have instructions,
you know what? You know where it probably is. It's probably in the attic.
It's the wrong room.
Yeah, no, it's the wrong room. Yeah, wrong room. Yeah, we're not in the Riker studio. So we are right next to the Riker studio, though. So
right next door.
Yeah, right next
door. If you didn't know that,
yeah.
Nobody's listening to this right now.
There was actually somebody, he's in the reaction community, but it's a reaction therapy. He said it the one time when I hopped in, he's like, they just have like, a wonderful room. It looks so professional, this, and this. I'm like, bro, it's just a room in our house, man. Like it's just funny where it's like how like, I know like people don't have that perspective of the rest of the house, which is just kind of funny.
Kyle, would you like to know why that is?
Why is that?
Is that camera on?
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Oh, has the episode started?
Oh yeah, well, we just been chatting. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have to start it here. We're just letting the conversation flow. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's all good.
So he was a reactor?
So I'm a reactor. Yeah.
Well, no, was he a reactor?
No, he's a reactor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, reactors have this. They're known for being lazy. So when you guys come on, and you have all this effort put into your content. And it is a lot more effort than like any other reactor out there.
Let's see. I wouldn't say that. I think it's there's plenty of people that have wonderful backgrounds that they definitely have thought that's put into it. But the thing is, I only know what Eric and I did. So it's because you don't know like what the process is of like people hanging stuff up and everything. But
that's fair.
But honestly, coming from you, that it means a lot.
I don't know. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anybody else that like takes reaction content as seriously as you guys do. And I know that to somebody that might sound like the stupidest compliment ever.
It's like, wait, so you think that you do the best thing at stealing content in a way to be able to react?
Jax Films is shaking his fist in anger right now. That's not a slight at him. I love Jax Films.
No, but to give everybody context here is that so you are the youngest of the 3 brothers.
I am.
We have talked about you, plenty of times on lives, or we've been in like some detour videos or even old reactions and stuff. We kind of talked about this on Patreon, but you've been around like since the channel essentially started, since everything, So it's cool to see where everything has ended up since then, because it's, from COVID to, life-changing events for us and like, even life-changing events for you, just as things have progressed, it's like, it's like we're still a family, still, all hanging out, doing our thing. It's just really cool to just have that perspective, especially,
Would you like to know what you should be more proud of all the time, like every day?
What's that?
The fact that before you had a YouTube channel and like people following you, you just kind of like got to talk to Mick Gordon like he was like a regular ass dude.
I did that did get to happen. I think I know why I stopped getting responses from him. Not because of like any like, oh, I'm special or this or that, but
Mick Gordon stopped talking to you.
Well, no, it was.
Put that in the thumbnail.
Well, what was funny was that it was like. I just sent him a picture of my 8-string, because I was like, oh yeah, check this out or whatever. And didn't expect to get anything back. I was actually with our friend Dan. We were out doing something. What's that?
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, yeah. And my phone got a notification and it was Mick Gordon. And he was like, yo, dude, how do you like it? And I was like, oh my God, Mick Gordon just messaged me. I don't know what to do. I cannot no longer operate vehicle I am in on the highway.
And that really sucked for you that day, because I remember that car crash.
Yeah.
And after you got out of the hospital, you were so excited to respond to Mick Gordon.
But no, it was that moment of that was really good. No, it was this cool thing of like, I won't divulge everything, but it was just, I talked to him kind of consistently, like, for like, I would say like a couple of days,
Not only did you talk to him consistently, there was an event I remember not too clearly, but he definitely, like, there was a moment where I was hanging out with you one day and he was doing something where he was like, oh yeah, that one guy from Ohio would probably like to see this.
I can't remember. I honestly don't even think I have the conversation still. So
that just goes to show how much of a Doom fan you are, really.
I know. Yeah, I didn't hang on to it. I only purchase the stuff that they do, even though there's things I dislike about its software. But nevertheless,
do you have the helmet? Do you have the one-to-one
I
replica?
want the helmet.
Oh, but you don't. So you haven't purchased everything.
No, I've the games, it's that type of thing. I've got all the Dooms. I got, I'm doing my thing. So I think I'm being a good customer, a good part of the fan base. I'm doing my thing.
He thinks he's being a good customer.
Anyway, so but no, tonight we're diving into Dungeons and Dragons, and it's honestly something that I've been very curious about to ask you and talk to you, because I know it's something that you have really taken on like as a lifestyle. This is something that you enjoy doing. Like, it's something that, you're very passionate about, and much like everything else that you're into, you don't half-ass anything that you're passionate about.
Well, everybody should know that being a dungeon master is really more of a lifestyle than it is a hobby. I think anybody that treats Dungeons and Dragons like a hobby isn't really doing it right. They seem like the kind of person that would like let elves grow beards or something. Like
elves don't grow beards?
No, they're not allowed to.
What do you mean they're not allowed to?
Well, in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Actually, show everybody the books that you guys got, or that you got. So yeah, so obviously we have Dungeon Master's Guide.
This was $50. Just read them online. They're free.
Wait, you can
go to. There's a wonderful website. It's called 5e Tools.
Is this a legal site?
Wonderful website. It's got all the information on all these books in here. It's free. Bit of a bonus if you do own the books, you get to look through them and all this wonderful artwork of, oh my god, what even are those things?
We have no idea.
No,
the world may never know.
Neither do I.
I know there's eyeballs.
I've been playing this game for like 6 years. I genuinely could not tell you what the fuck these things are.
So it's when it comes to this, like this like cool thing that you've just dove into, is that what I want to know is that like what got you into even wanting to sit in on a session or doing your own thing? Because like it was the last thing that I knew was that you were, still into like guitar and different things, which I mean, you still own them and have them and stuff. But
I was recently the resident guitarist at the Spring Spotlight concert.
Oh, really?
In Nondescript area in Nondescript state.
Yeah, that's what Ohio at least. But yeah,
you're gonna dox yourself like that?
Yeah, because we live in Ohio.
Yeah. Here's a little sneak peek. If you were at that concert, if you for some reason both like choir concerts and watch this podcast. After I finished that concert, I reached back to turn that amp off that I was using, and I definitely turned it on.
Oh no! Oh god! Oh, that's the worst.
So being a dungeon,
so much anxiety.
So being a dungeon master really wasn't my first pick. My first pick was being a player. I was invited. I was invited by it that shall not be named to a session of Dungeons and Dragons with two of the greatest folks on this planet, and
you can say names if you
and
want
a tiny little gremlin that I don't really talk to anymore.
Oh dear God!
but that's that was really just the start of it. The start of it was when I was 9 years old. My father bought a game called Skyrim for the PlayStation 3.
Ah, there it is. Okay, yeah.
And growing up, I had already seen little comic books and posters with wizards like shooting lightning out of their hands and like holding like a fucking Shakespeare book in the other hand. And I'm like, that's what I want to do when I grow up. And now that's what I do. I'm a wizard. I've
literally a wizard.
I'm literally a wizard.
Yeah.
I've got a couple incantations yet to learn, but most of them, let me tell you, most of them are going along pretty well.
Yeah. Have you manifested $1 million or so?
Kyle, I don't. Every time you speak, you give away how much you don't know about magic. It's actually insane. It's actually insane.
So obviously, so this is like a friends thing, and it's like you dove into it, but
don't get into D&D if you don't have friends.
See, well, the other thing that I kind of always equated it to Magic the Gathering, and I don't know if this is the truth, but how they always say get your kid into Magic the Gathering because they won't have any money for drugs. Because you spend all your time, your resources and efforts and money into creating your characters or into developing your campaigns and things. It's I'm so much about it is intriguing to me because I have a couple of other friends that do this, where it's like, okay, it's like I want to have conversations with all of them, but it's like you being my brother,
but
it's
I'm
like,
the best at it.
But yeah, of course, but no, it's the idea of I want to know just how your brain works with it, where it's how often you think about it, what's your what's your week like leading up to a campaign or a brand new one. But either way, I think that unless we got something that you want to say.
Well, I would say absolutely. Get your kids early into D&D. Buy them the player's handbook and nothing else, because then on their own they'll have to spend $50 on the Dungeon Master's Guide, another $50 on the Monster Manual, maybe another $50 on the updated Monster Manual for the same edition.
Oh, jeez.
And then maybe another $50 on the combined Monster Manual books if they ever do that.
Holy
and
shit.
then another $50 to $70 based on how long the adventure is on all of the storybooks. Alternatively, you could spend no money on any of that and just use your imagination.
Sure.
It's really fun doing that. That's what I do now. And I do have one of the storybooks. It's called Curse of Strahd. It was $100.
Worth it though, right?
Well, I didn't have to pay $100 for it. As a matter of fact, I actually didn't have to pay $100 for it. I only had to pay $60 for it because it was 40% off on Amazon.
Hell yeah.
But I didn't have to pay the $100 for the deluxe edition with the postcards.
There's postcards.
Well, I've got postcards from a country that doesn't exist.
So, you can't drop a bomb like that and not expect me to ask questions.
Well, Kyle,
a place that doesn't exist. What place or what fictional place are you sending postcards
Barovia.
Barovia
is a place that not only doesn't exist in the real world, but technically doesn't really exist in Dungeons and Dragons because it's like a manifestation of Strahd's mind or some bullshit. I didn't really understand much of that book, and I think I'm gonna do it again soon.
I don't know. It sounds like maybe it's like there might be some better things out there to try out. But
oh no, Kyle, that's widely regarded as one of the greatest stories ever.
Oh really? Okay.
Because it's a manifestation of his mind. That classic vampire rule of you have to invite them in before they can come into a home. Well, it doesn't work because he owns the country.
So it's his territory's everywhere.
It's his place.
Yeah, it's just taken over.
Yeah, so, the classic case of Clark. Your payment to me doesn't I own the building that you work in, Clark. Your payment to me means nothing. You're using my own money.
just circulates no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, so when it comes to you said using your imagination and things what it makes me wonder is that let's say that you're in the process of making a campaign.
Right.
You're because how many players are you usually rocking with every week?
I think the max right now we've got is 4, but usually we've only got 3 per week.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's let me tell you about the main villain of Dungeons and Dragons: scheduling issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, getting everybody together is a pain in the assholes. All 4 of them.
Yeah.
And so maybe every week you don't have a complete session. But as long as one person is willing to just jump in and just kind of be there, having missed the last 3 sessions. Thank you so much, Kira. You've been a great sport.
Well, I think it's one of those that obviously life will just life. It'll just do its thing. So it's it's that thing of when you do get everybody in the room, I imagine that there's just a wonderful synergy. Like there's a wonderful environment that, it's because I mean, it really is just, it's playing pretend, but in the same hand, it's like, no, like this is a very serious thing for people, like, building their character for however long, especially when you hear like the longest D&D games that have ever been going on, or like, the different things,
There most D&D like campaigns, make no mistake, last longer than the Confederacy ever had a chance to.
Oh dear God. Is it really that involved?
It's pretty involved. It's like, okay, so like picture this, right? You're writing a book. You're an author. You're really inspired to write this book. You've got it all in your head. But you got to do it with 4 other people. And you can only do any writing when you can all get in the same place once a week.
Yeah.
And you guys usually don't really have the same idea of what should happen in the book.
So let me ask you this: so it's like when you're prepping a campaign, because clearly if you're saying that there's this idea that your players are writing this story, but is it? I mean, obviously, I'm sure that you have at least like, hey, like you're gonna make it to here, you're gonna make it to here, you're gonna make it to here, but this is where the story ends.
Hopefully,
so, really,
hopefully, yes. When I plan for a single session, my thought process goes, okay, where are they probably gonna go today? I'll make just like a bunch of pre-planned stuff for there, not even related to the main story, because God knows they're not gonna do that. I think one of my favorite ones of recent was the arena, where I absolutely did not expect them to go into the arena. As a matter of fact, I put the arena in that city because I needed something to fill out like the top 4th corner.
Oh shit.
So they're like, oh, big ass arena, like anybody would when they see a giant arena.
Like, yeah, I want to go there and spill blood.
Exactly. So they did that, and I'm like, I don't have anything in there. So I made some shit up real quick, and they stayed in the arena for 2.5 hours.
Really? Now, how long are your game sessions usually?
They used to be only 4 hours.
Only?
Yeah.
Used to be only 4 hours.
4 hours is, especially when everybody has ADHD and can't stay on topic for like. Yeah. No. 4 hours is nothing. Usually they're going for 6 lately, and that's a lot more helpful if we want to actually get something done.
Damn.
Yeah. Right.
It's just 2 hours shy of a normal work shift is what you guys are usually doing for time.
Exactly. Except instead of a work shift, we're all having fun, and well, I mean, somebody's still there saying, "Hey, get off your phone."
Well, sure. Well, I'd imagine it's like you're going to have personalities that are either going to be like you'll clash or like different things will happen. But I mean, I would imagine that if you're going to be in a situation like that, that you wouldn't want to be on your phone. You'd want to be engaged in this thing that took so much effort to put together.
You're right. But also, when I see somebody on their phone, I'm like, oh well, he's also got like 13 summons right now, so he's probably looking at the stat block for a fire elemental.
Oh sure, yeah.
And then when he gets to his turn, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was texting my roommate, and I'm like, okay, well.
I bet you were.
Go ahead and make your move now. But I don't know, when it comes to that, there's also just different kinds of people where like I'll get to the cleric of the group, and they're like, okay, so while the entire rest of the party was doing their stuff, I was planning out this really well executed move in my head. And I know exactly what to do here, and they start rolling dice willy nilly, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You have to tell me first." And then I get to Aiden, and I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh, is it my turn? I'm gonna hit him with my wrench."
Oh, what the fuck? Because now is this? I don't know if this is the right way to even say it, but the way that I've heard it described to me is essentially the fact that you can literally do anything. Like if you can imagine it. Well, I mean, obviously, like it's
within
like
limits.
Like it's. I would say that if you have a character where it's like you can't just be like, oh, I pull out a lightsaber and stab him in the heart. Where it's like, no, like you don't have a lightsaber. But if you have a sword, if you're like, no, like whatever action I want to do with the sword, I can do. Now it depends on the roll. Obviously, you have to roll high, but is that kind of like the only thing you're limited by is your imagination, essentially?
Kinda. Also, like your character's physical attributes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if somebody says, "I want to punch this brick wall," and they roll a 20,
Yeah.
but their strength score is like fucking 15.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, "Oh, you break that thing, dude." I'm probably gonna say, "Oh, dude, there's like a little crack in that. You rolled a 20. You crack that thing, man." And a lot of DMs just go straight to, "Oh, you destroy the fucking wall, bro."
Well, I think that's the thing that interests me is that it's because essentially it's from what it seems like is that they're very much at the mercy of you, you know, of that, like what you're going to think of for what their roles mean, or like, you know, for, you know, the things that happen. Like I remember a D&D session I sat in on, very briefly, but,
Brian.
the guy that was running it said that, you're all walking, you know, to whatever, you know, town, and on the way a dragon comes out of the ground and basically says, surrender and be my slaves or die.
They do that sometimes.
And
dragons,
yeah.
Dragon. Not a lot of people know this. Dragons, kind of assholes.
Yeah.
Kind of assholes.
Not a fun group to be around.
Well, some of them are cool. Gold dragons grant wishes.
Oh, really?
Gold dragons grant wishes, and for Christmas, I got my friend Dom a gold dragon.
What's you got him one?
I got him a gold dragon. I bought the mini off of Amazon.
Okay, so
And when I say mini, like a mini for like a human is like this big, right? Audio listeners love you to death. You're gonna have to come over to YouTube for this one.
they're like maybe like an inch or two tall. Yeah.
An inch might, like, for some of them might be a little generous.
Oh, really?
So but that's like that's a human. So when I like buy a mini for a dragon, it's like, oh well, fucking. It's not a mini really anymore.
Yeah.
Even though it is like a 1/1000th scale figure.
Sure.
This is no longer a mini, and it's also $100 because it's like it's not 3D printed. It's like sculpted out of resin.
Oh, jeez.
And it's they're so nice.
Well, it's because I know that the thing that floored me was, you know, I mean, this was, you know, not even recently, but when I saw the one shelf that you have in your room with the countless amounts of these things, where at first I thought it was, you know, because like before I really connected the dots, I'm like, oh, he loves figurines, like he loves, you know, like
And I
these
do.
yeah, right.
And
But
I've still got the Marauder, and I've still got green.
Yeah.
I've still got 3 Green Lanterns up there.
you're a big fan of the Green Lantern, huh?
Kyle, you're insane. Everybody, I'd like to say you're insane if you don't love the Green Lantern. First of all, even if you don't like Hal Jordan, you don't have to like Hal Jordan. You can like Jon Stewart, or maybe you can not like Guy Gardner like everybody else, or the new one whose name I forgot, which is both I think racist and sexist because she's a woman and Latina. So
Trying to be inclusive.
go
I think
ahead
that's what they're
and-
trying to do. Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah.
Well, anyway, but yeah. So
They make comic books too woke nowadays, and they're making D&D woke.
oh, really? They're trying to make D&D woke?
Kyle, I'm kidding.
Oh God! I was like, wait, dude, hey, for all I know, that could be happening.
Kyle,
you go woke,
I-
you go broke. Okay?
In the nicest way possible, D&D is for woke people.
Okay, well, how so? What do you mean?
Well, Kyle, let me show you my character.
Okay, it's now again for audio listeners, guys.
Audio listeners love you to death.
This is going to be a lot of visual stuff, so we'll do the best that we can to describe what is on here. But if you want to see what these look like and everything, you can just come over to YouTube and we'll show you guys. So
You can come over to
but, yeah, he's
YouTube,
pulling up
which
his,
is where I stole
his
audio
stuffs.
listeners love you to death from. Chuckle Sandwich, I miss you. I miss you so much.
So, oh, here, show him again. Show him your shirt. Yeah.
This is my this is Chuckle Sandwich.
Yep.
This is
Chuckle merch.
Chuckle Dungeon. This is the Chuckle shirt right here, which I made sure to wash beforehand.
You washed it specifically for this?
I washed it specifically for this.
That is so kind of you.
Everybody go watch all 145 episodes of Chuckle Sandwich, and the bonus episodes where they shoot guns, and the bonus episode where they make the Chuckle Sandwich.
I would never want to see that ever again in my life ever. No, never. I never want to do it.
Was it the quackity in the sandwich, or was it the gun?
I don't care about that. I want to see what's on your tablet.
This is my character right here. There's no way it's going to be clear for
Press
anybody
over
here.
So you guys can get a better look at this. So 'cause what I also love about this too is if you guys can see that, I know it's I'm making sure the mic's trying to do its thing,
look
but
at that. Yeah,
what I
look how
love is like
clear
the neon and stuff that you got going on here. Like this is like, and especially too is that you drawing for as long as you have been, like you've had such a big talent for doing it. Like, because I remember like when you were super young and you had all of your different crayons.
Being
and
poor, pencil and paper are very cheap.
No, they are. Yeah.
So I would grab some paper, some printer paper.
Yeah.
And I would grab crayons, and my parents would, our parents would say,
Our parents
would say, Devin, we like can't print anything anymore because we don't have any paper.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's honestly, it's cool how it's evolved because now you don't even need paper.
And I said, I do Spider-Man.
Well, it's what got me. What I was going to say was that it was the fact that you were drawing like ferociously on something. And I don't remember what the hell I was doing, but you came over to me and you said, essentially you were like, okay, Kyle, it's like, I drew Optimus Prime. And my first thought was, oh my God, whatever.
I was
like,
a 5-year-old.
You were a 5-year-old. And I looked at this thing and my first thought was, that's fucking Optimus Prime. And this is not like 80s, 70s or whatever early iterations of them. No, this was Michael Bay.
2007.
Dude, it was
Linkin
incredible.
Park.
Yeah.
The movie that I watched like 87 times in a single day, which is an exaggeration.
Well,
probably genuinely 87 is probably the amount of times I've seen it in my life. Let me tell you about Transformers 2007. I'm not gonna tell you about Transformers.
Don't do that. No, Michael Bay's already ruined our childhood enough. So not with Transformers, but we'll talk later. But it's I remember just being blown away by that. So essentially, like bringing it back home is that it's like, okay, so you're able to develop your own character and you're able to do essentially what you want with it, and you have your own style and everything. And like, it's so fucking cool, man. Like, it's like you have no limits essentially.
I do love, I probably should eventually start like learning like proper shading and realism on my tablet. But here's the thing, that comic book style that I've like settled into, I love it.
Dude, if you love it, stay there, man.
That shit. I love that shit so much. Sometime I'd love to be able to like draw on my tablet like something else, like that portrait of Chester Bennington on your fridge.
Yeah.
He has my drawings on his fridge because I'm so cool. Like
I do. Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I want to make sure everybody can see them all the time.
But no, being able to like actually draw your own characters is it's very rewarding. It's pretty tiring because most of my week is spent drawing like little side characters for D&D.
See, that was going to be my next question. It's the fact that you're drawing characters for yourself, but you've shown me everything from designing villains and like whether or not, like, depending on like the color palette that you have with it is because of their whether or not they're fire, ice, earth, or like if they have like these different things that they use as powers, or maybe it's like a guy in a cloak. Excuse me, but so it's when it comes down to that, is it essentially that like anything that is interactable in your game, like you have to essentially bring to life, but with the end of your pen?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I usually like to some things that just like require a little bit more visual help. Mm-hmm. Some like shopkeepers, for example. Here I've got. Let me pull up the this is one of my favorite examples. This is a shop. I love this
so much.
This is a shop that instead of just like including on the map as like the words Pepper's Potent Potions.
Pepper's Potent Potions.
That I have I've drawn the interior of, which I'm I'm no longer going to do. I am going to be putting my characters over other people's art. So that it doesn't take me all week.
Well, so that one was completely from scratch.
Yes.
See, that's wild to me, man.
This is
cool.
The potion shop in the Moon Elf capital of Viramir.
Wow.
Don't you know how to spell that?
Yeah, everybody knows that's what they do in first grade.
Everybody knows. They have you practicing your ABCs, and then you try to spell a Viramir.
A Viramir.
and I
thought infuriating.
And I thought that I thought that something like a potion of growth that like makes you one size class larger, or alchemist fire that explodes in a little like patch of fire. I thought that was going to be the most popular item that they buy.
Yeah.
This is Carney Barker.
Ooh, I gotta watch that.
Cornelius Barker, Carney for short.
Even I love how you have like the handwriting at the bottom.
He sells potions and he talks like this. Everything's for sale, even the skull. His name's Bernard. He's 4,000 gold.
Dude, that is so cool.
What have I got over here? Well, they're cursed items at a great price. Somebody already bought the golden loot.
Wait, someone bought the loot?
Somebody bought the golden loot.
I thought you steal loot. You don't buy loot.
No, loot like the instrument.
Oh, I thought you meant like loot, like treasure or something.
Oh,
like
there's
that,
also loot for sale. It's like Bernard is 4,000 gold. Here he is. Here he is
Bernard.
again. Don't you love Bernard?
Yes. So obviously it's with, you've had to find ways to be able to not soak up your entire life just diving into drawing every explicit detail. Like you're not making a video game where people are going to be walking around in this like 3D space or different things, but
I basically am.
Well, but I think it's more so the idea of giving them that snapshot into the world that you guys are creating. Like that to me is what I really love about what you do, and it's one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on, because it's like you don't just play Dungeons and Dragons, like you actually give a shit.
Everybody,
as much as possible.
Everybody, I think, will recognize I stole this background from Undertale too.
I fucking hate Undertale. I'm sorry, Jack. It pissed me off way too much.
Oh yeah, I forgot I showed it to you.
I have not recovered since we played that.
Since the ramen packet that takes you 4 turns to eat.
Oh my god, that was so infuriating.
It's
fucking ramen. Just use. Done. Move on. I want to jump. I don't want to move.
Well, yeah, but if you play the don't worry, if you play the route where you kill everybody, you can your character will instead just eat the dry noodles. Instead of taking 4 minutes, the dialogue just says they're better dry, healed all health.
It makes me wonder if it would be like, yeah, he's just gonna eat the ramen, but then drink boiling water, or something like that. So
no, but the most popular item has been this one here on the bottom. I don't know if you can read it here. It says,
let's see. Mystery potions that were here when I moved in, $20. Is that what that says?
So when somebody buys one of those,
what the fuck is that?
Well, it's a mystery potion. He doesn't know what it does.
So literally, that's him saying these have been here for however long. I don't.
When
fucking
I bought
know.
the place, these potions were here. They didn't have labels, and when somebody buys one, they write mystery potion in their inventory. And when they say, "I drink one of my mystery potions," I roll a D100.
Oh god!
And I pick up and I choose from a list of 100 different effects.
Now, is this one of those that is it relative to the number where 0 or 1 is harmless, or one, or it's just randomized?
Just completely randomized.
Holy
doesn't
shit.
matter if you roll high. Doesn't matter if you roll low.
So a 100-sided die.
Yeah. So
how does that even work? Because I thought it was 6 and 7 or 8 or 12.
Yes. Well, in a set you have 7.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 2 D10s. One of them is just like a normal D10 that rolls, well, technically it rolls 0 to 9 because you can't put 10 on a.
Oh, really?
Well, it's the 0. It's 0 instead of 10, so that when you roll your percentile die with it, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, and then your percentile die is the number at. I wish I had some with me. I should have brought some.
That's all good.
I should have brought some. You roll 2 of them. The first one is the tens place, and the second is the ones place.
Okay, gotcha.
So you roll a 9 and you roll a 1. Great, 91.
Mm-hmm.
So then I look at what space 91 is on the potion chart.
Man, so it's the fact that even with. Because to me, it's one of those I've always heard the 20-sided die and all these different things. I know there's an entire logic to it, and even how they have the what was it? I think it looked almost like a knife or something that was stabbed into almost like a cement block, but it was dice that you would spin the different sections of it and stuff. I'm not even a Dungeons and Dragons guy, and that looked cool, but dice it's always just intrigued me very, very much.
91, godly form, improves all stats. So as a dungeon master, I can just kind of decide what that means.
Mm-hmm.
They're level 5 right now. So I think what that means is +1 to all rolls.
Really? So so the idea of that it's no matter what they're doing, they can have a +1.
Yeah.
On anything.
And a +1 might not sound that great. Holy shit, dude. That's sometimes the difference between you hitting something or missing entirely and hitting the ground next to it.
Oh God. See, I mean, that's the thing is that it's like with having. Let me ask you this: is that so? Like when you're heading up, a campaign. Let's say that you're getting to the really really good parts where you're like, oh my God, like we're finally here, but they're in the good part and they're not doing what you want. How much do you have to pull your ego or pull yourself back where you're just like, I have to let them do the game that they've chosen?
Oh, 100%.
Like it's like how hard is that?
I used to make it in like a way that like I'm like they have to do it this way, and like all the characters are gonna tell them they have to do it this way, and then it just didn't happen. They would just not do it entirely, and so I changed my style up, which is how you should do it. If you're a DM that doesn't do it like this is how you should do it.
Gotta change it up.
You make the area, you make all the stuff they could possibly do, and then you let them do it. And you have to.
It's not a linear path.
And you have to. Oh my God! You have to get a couple sessions in, even if it's with your best friends. You can know your best friend's middle name. I don't think that's like a normal thing.
What do you mean? You
knowing your best friend's middle name. I don't think that's like a normal thing. I probably should have picked something a little bit more rare.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, how many middle names of my friends do I actually know? That's actually a really good question.
Perhaps you're the only one that knows your best friend is gay.
Oh my God!
You still won't know how they're gonna play D&D. You have no clue.
I have no idea, huh?
You have no idea. I invite some of my best friends over to play, right? I've known these people since kindergarten. One of them's Daniel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
I did not think that he was gonna pick that poor lady up by the skull and bash her into the wall all those times.
Is he a violent man in Dungeons and Dragons? Or is this he just did what needed done? Like,
well,
Batman?
he told me, he leans in and he told me, you got to give me one every session, and then I'll stop.
Wait, so he gets one every session until he gets tired of it, then he'll stop?
No, Daniel doesn't come to D&D anymore.
Oh, no, oh my God. So that's all he wanted?
Well, one day he stopped replying in the group chat.
Oh, God. And then that was just
and
it.
I was like, hey,
he
was like, hey, I was like, are you coming to D&D on Saturday? He's like, no, I have sex on Saturdays now.
What the fuck? So hey, that's sometimes life takes over.
Sometimes life does take over, and I can't say I blame him.
Well, obviously with the people that are still there. God, that's wild. I think
I didn't make that up, but I might have, but I probably didn't.
So all right, so I'm more so back to like the idea of like, okay, so if like, how do you, like, let's say, like, when a game is done and you're just like, damn, like, this did not go the way that I thought it was going to.
Like the session is done or, like, the campaign is done?
Let's say the game, or the whole, like, campaign's done.
Oh.
Like, when it comes to that, like, is it the idea that does that spur you on for the next one to be, like, it's like, not, like, you know what, I think I need to do these things differently? Because, I mean, so far, how many campaigns do you think you've done so far?
Like ran?
Yeah.
4 maybe.
4, okay.
4 or 5.
Nice.
How many have I completed? None.
Really?
Finishing a campaign is hell, dude. Finishing a campaign is hell because, like, usually halfway through, I'll get there. I'm like, I didn't plan enough ahead. I only know how I want this to end, and I can't get there from where we are.
Where you're like, oh my God, this wonderful climactic, thing with an octopus is gonna happen, and they choose the desert, and you're like, fuck me.
I've actually always wanted. I know one of those questions that you sent me was what's something you've always wanted to do.
Yeah. And
I've always wanted to run some in a desert setting.
Really? So no desert yet?
No desert yet. No desert in the current one. And here's how my current one is, right? For years I have been planning to myself, I want to run like a D&D campaign where the entire, like, all the map is made up of floating islands.
Oh shit!
Like flying up in the sky above Faerun. That's the continent. And you have to get to the other islands by traveling on flying boats. Does it make sense? No, not a lick.
But it's cool.
Oh, but it's fucking awesome, and I stole it from Pirate 101.
Every good idea is just an idea that was stolen, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like every good thing that ever came out of D&D has been stolen. But like over time, it evolves into something that is so unique you couldn't really pin it to another video game, and that's what I really like. So no, I was gonna add a desert island, but I'm like, I've already got too many, and they've already got the hellish one that's to traverse. That's the ice one. Let me show you the ice plane.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I was telling you about this. This is going to be the active map.
Well, see what I love about, especially when I know I'm biased because my favorite color is blue, but like I've always loved it whenever you would draw ice like oriented characters and different things, just because it's just there's something that just like there's a radiance to it where it's like, oh my god, like it's just like your art just shines there.
Anything with ice powers, anything that's made out of trees, it's my favorite shit ever.
Let's see, you're going to hand it over and then go ahead and explain what's going on here.
Well, this is Aurorus. This is the ice continent. It's not really a continent, it's more of just an island. You'll notice that when I was making the outline of it, it's just Iceland. That's just Iceland with a bunch of different stuff on it. Every hex that you see, half a mile. So every time they travel one hex, they've traveled half a mile.
So when it comes to this, is that when you are designing these, first off, like how do you decide on the grid? Like is everything you do hexagonal, or is it like, does it change up depending on like what kind of like area that you're in?
Usually hexagonal is just like a lot easier to do than everything else because like it all fits in cleanly and you don't have to like, you can move diagonally without like having to say, well, diagonally on a square board isn't really
okay.
You're not moving the same amount.
Sure.
It's geometry. So hexes are they're also standard. Like if I open this up to a page with a map on it, it's gonna have hexes.
Okay, so that's with this. Obviously, this is like with that what you just showed, and for the Heries is that it essentially looks like a giant like topographical map of almost like a country. Or like a city, or like like a town, or like
topographical, not typographical.
No, topographical, yeah. So topographical Utah, that was the Deppel thing. But so it's the idea of like, okay, so like when we get into like the woods or different things, do you have separate maps that are more like concentrated on these areas, or is it purely up to their imagination at that point?
No, not particularly. I've got set things that are in those areas. And that's a separate map that only I get to look at. Okay. And I'll show it to you right now. So you're in the forest.
Now, do you stereotypically have the thing like where it's like the barrier between you and the players?
The DM screen.
Is that a consistent thing that always happens?
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know. My players usually look behind the DM screen because if they see if they get like a single glimpse of it, they're not really gonna get anything. I see. They'd have to they have to zoom in with their eyes and start reading everything. And if they start doing that, I'm gonna be like, fuck off.
Then here's a kind of an idea of like one of the close-ups.
Yeah, bright green usually shows up best on whatever map you're using. So in the forest right now, the forest is gonna be one of the most dangerous places to travel.
So it's like what waits for somebody there? Like what would make you not want to go to that forest?
Well, let's see what I've got on the encounters map, Kyle.
Oh dear God!
Google Sheets.
Google Sheets.
Google Sheets.
Is this like Google Docs, except it's you put them over your bed? Oh dear God, that's a lot.
So when they walk across a hex, I do this. Where'd my pen go?
You're fine.
Where'd my pen go? So when they go across, here's where they are right now. They're in this little alcove. It's the one in red. If you can't see it.
Yep.
So right now they're fighting they're fighting the frost druids. A druid is like a person that is dedicated to taking care of nature and the land. The frost druids are a little bit psychotic here. So they're attacking everybody that's building a city nearby them. Because they're like, this is bullshit. You're You're taking the blood of the earth. You're taking this metal and you're using it as nails. What the fuck, dude?
Well, I mean, you got to make nails somehow. Got to do what you got to do.
And you do.
know?
Not everybody can just not everybody can just plant a seed and then grow it into a house.
Well, sure, but yeah, I mean, that's for another spell, right?
So when they move, I go ahead and I fill in. I fill in.
Just making some adjustments here on the
I
the
fill
iPad
in
here. So then 2 red areas.
one of the hexes.
I see.
And I try to keep those on there so that I can every hex takes them 30 minutes to get across.
Holy shit.
I'd say walking an hour and a mile with like a party carrying a bunch of shit is pretty fair.
So truthfully, when you say that finishing a campaign is hell, it's like if you want to investigate every single area that is on that map, it would take an astronomical amount of time for you to be able to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy shit.
And I roll a d4 when they start walking. And whatever that number is, that's how many hexes they have until they run into an encounter.
Oh, okay.
And so pick a number between 1 and 20. I'll say you're traveling in the Snowlands, which is the least dangerous area.
Let's say you said 1 in 20?
Yeah.
14.
Oh, well, Kyle, it's gonna be between 1 and 4 mammoths.
1 in 4 mammoths.
Between 1 and 4 mammoths.
Like the extinct creature mammoths.
Yeah. Turns out most things here extinct on Earth are not extinct in D&D because there was no history.
So if I'm going hexagonal on this map, I'm going to run into 1 to 4 mammoths?
1 to 4 mammoths, yes. Pick another number.
Okay. All right. Let's say 10.
10?
Yeah.
Between 1 and 10 axe beaks.
Axe beaks.
An axe beak is it's like an ostrich, except its beak
is an axe.
Is an axe.
it's like naming superheroes. Like he's a silver. No, it's silver. He's silver and he surfs. Oh, silver surfer.
What would you call that guy?
I don't know.
If I were
Gavin,
a children's dentist named Ned.
If you guys have not seen Pete Holmes with X-Men and the new Batman series, you need to. It's fucking
the Jean Grey one. Watch the Jean Grey one.
I believe they call that docking.
Everybody go to the family computer. Go to the family computer.
No.
Look up Mr. Hands.
Mr. What? What is this? I'm sorry. Wait. What the fuck did you just say?
So,
I don't condone searching this, but now my curiosity is here, so I'm probably gonna Google this later. Like,
Kyle,
this isn't dark web shit, right? Like,
I don't know how he got there. It was probably dark web shit. Mr. Hands is the monicum, the alias of the alias of a gentleman in Enumclaw, Washington, named Kenneth Pinion. Kenneth Pinion was a Boeing engineer. Okay. This guy was an engineer for airplanes. And in his spare time, he and his friend would go out to a ranch in Enumclaw, Washington, and he would take a horse cock up the ass.
That just took a turn.
He died.
I fucking bet. He died. It's like this. You're not. No, I can't get into this.
So now, and there's a few judges that had to preside over the Enumclaw horse sex case. Kenneth Pinion, everybody.
What did they? Okay, so what did they? What did they do?
So axe beaks.
Axe beaks. Yes. Okay. Back on it? Yeah.
Kyle, we're getting a little too off track here.
Shit.
Axe beaks tend to live in colder climates, but sometimes they live in wherever. You're probably not gonna find one in the desert.
I'm sorry. Oh God.
Australia. I'd say if you were looking for one on Earth right now, look in Australia for an axe beak.
This is a real thing?
No.
No? That's what you said to look in Australia for it.
If it was real, I'd look in Australia for an axe beak.
Okay, sorry, I'm still recovering from the aneurysm you just gave me.
Yeah,
oh God,
somebody had to hear about that. Your audience had to hear about that somehow. And it's not like they were just gonna Google Mr. Hands.
Oh God, this is some poor kid on a middle school computer is gonna probably look that up at some point. So
well, he
it's
already
like salad
has.
fingers, you know.
Well, he already has, and you know why he has?
Why?
It's because of a man you love named Jay Schlatt. Everything.
I didn't say I love him.
Everything
I said
funny,
that I'm good with him.
Everything
now, so.
funny I've ever told you probably came from a Jay Schlatt video,
Wow.
and everything funny Jay Schlatt has ever said came from a Mr. Sark video.
Well, hey, sometimes you got to find an inspiration.
Don't Google
somewhere.
Mr. Sark.
Mr. Sark.
That's not like Mr. Hands. Mr. Sark is just from a different time of YouTube when being funny meant being racist.
Dear God. I never understood why people try to capitalize on that shit. It's just so dumb.
Well, Kyle, let me tell you about the villain in my current campaign.
Does this have anything to do with the fact of
He's
any
a
kind
very
of
racist man.
really?
Well, he's a sun elf.
A sun elf.
The sun elves are pretty racist people.
So it's one just sun elves or elves in general?
Sun elves specifically.
Sun elves. Okay.
Most of the people in my campaign are elves right now. It's the
Okay.
Elven Isles. They listen. There's a lot of D&D lore. I didn't read all of it. There was a big elf migration. All right, and during that, these guys just took a bunch of chunks of land and said, "This is ours now." So, a bunch of different kinds of people. Air conditioning kicking on.
That's fine.
There's the sun elves, the moon elves, the snow elves, and the other ones, the wood elves. Well, there's also the Eladrin, but they live at the same place the wood elves do. Eladrin are like elves, except you know how the seasons change?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so do they.
Oh, so they literally change with each
just
pattern.
like the Guess Who.
The Guess Who?
Seasons change, and so did I.
Oh,
You need not wonder why. That's
Yeah.
the first song I ever remember listening to.
Really?
No Time by the Guess Who. Everybody go listen to that.
That's
That's in my prep playlist for D&D.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I remember being there the first time that you started singing along with it and like understood like what a song was.
That and You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall & Oates.
Oh, Hall & Oates was. I know, like you still had like dude, like you dug like the Gaither vocal band. You dug like fucking the Osmonds.
Oh my god, the
like,
Gaither vocal band did not exist until you reminded me of them just right now.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you had the mic and everything, dude. You were like, I did it too. You know, it's like you
Mom
put on your
walked
own
in on me
concert in the living room. You know,
Mom walked in on me one day while I had like Buzz Lightyear on the keyboard. And,
Yeah.
I had like Optimus Prime playing the guitar.
Was this the really, really big Optimus Prime I bought you for Christmas?
Yes.
Holy shit, he was a part of the band too?
Yeah, damn right he was a part of the band. I might still have that thing, dude.
Oh god.
Let me tell you, as a 21-year-old man, I could probably still not turn him into a truck.
Oh, really? It's
There's
that kind
no way they expected a 9-year-old to do that.
Oh shit.
No shot they
'cause-
expected a 9-year-old to do that.
Well, guys, like to give you perspective, is that I remember like for Christmas, I'm like, I am buying him the biggest Optimus Prime that I possibly can find. And it was one of those things that like even Uncle Rex would have looked at it and went, like, no, you're not doing that.
Well, it had so many parts.
Well, that's the thing is, I remember I walked into Walmart, and dude, you were so easy to shop for because it was like right there. It was like when Transformers was huge, you know?
Yeah, Transformers, Ninja Turtles,
Well, it was this like
Ninjago.
it was this big, elaborate, like Michael Bay, highly detailed looking thing.
A little bit smaller than that, but
I remember it being large.
remember the box was.
I carried the box, Devin. It was
from,
heavy.
It was from Transformers 2
was-
as well. So
it was heavy.
So he also had like the orange blades on his arms, like fucking Baraka,
yeah. Yeah, no, that's good
and
shit.
his feet went missing.
Really?
Yeah, his feet went missing one foot went missing, and I never found it. And I had one of his feet up on my drawer just in case I found the other one.
Oh, jeez.
So, but no, he never stood up. On his legs there were like these little flaps that had wheels on the end of them, and I was like, well, fuck it, he's rolling, he's skating wherever he's going.
Autobots roll out.
Well, in Transformers 2, they also had a bunch of like Transformers in the intro sequence that are like all just on wheels.
Yeah, sure.
And I thought that shit was cool.
No, it's honestly, I think that when they started doing the motorcycles, that's where I was like, oh god,
Yes.
that's so awesome, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was the motorcycle from the animated series?
I can't remember.
Nah,
I never
I-
watched.
Neither can I. He was like he meditated all the time.
Meditated.
Yeah, he's
An Autobot meditated.
he's an Autobot. He was like a ninja or something. He turned into a motorcycle, and Bumblebee was always annoying him with his shitty little shenanigans. And the dude, I remember that show. They like the kids that they were hanging out with would get into the car, and then Bumblebee would transform into a robot. I'm like, she's dead.
See, I've always like whenever I've seen like different moments of that of like in the live action where like Bumblebee will take them out first, and you'll see him like where it's like, by the way, terrifying, for it to happen. But it was one of the answers I always wanted. Where I'm like, bro, like, how do they do that without killing them? Oh, like, okay, Michael Bay, you answered that one. That's good, But no, I agree.
But in the animated series, it's just like, oh, he's. No, cool. Yeah, Ratchet just turned into like a robot again, and whoever's inside of him on the way to the hospital is probably fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're not in a million pieces first, but what I want to do is to hone
Dungeons and Dragons.
To hone this in for Dungeons and Dragons to kind of like bring it to a close is what I want to ask you is that say somebody is wanting to get into it. So say somebody wants to, at least give it a shot, or maybe they're interested.
Are you sure?
Or making it a thing like, what?
Are you certain?
what is your advice to them?
What's your monthly income? Do you have at least $50 disposable? I'm exaggerating. You could play D&D for free.
Yeah.
And you should play D&D for free. Buy a couple sets of dice. Buy a set of dice. Buy one. Buy one and don't buy another one, because after the second, it's too late. It's too late. You need the metal ones with blood on them, and the metal ones with blood not on them, and the metal ones with a frost giant as a 20.
Oh, dear God.
And that one's my favorite. It was my favorite. You land on a 20.
That wasn't the second one, was it?
No, that was not the second one.
That was a part of the obsession.
That was actually number 6. I paid $47 for it.
Oh my God.
Mom thinks I paid $20 for it. Hi, Mom.
Then she's gonna listen to it while she's cleaning.
Hi, Mom. How you doing?
But no, you can play it for free. Like, what are some websites or whatever? Like, how would you?
5e Tools. You go to 5e Tools. They got everything. It's pretty well organized. It's not a piece of shit like D&D Beyond. Don't go to D&D Beyond. Don't go to D&D Beyond.
Don't do that.
Here's a fun thing about D&D Beyond. They've got all the books for sale. And they're like digital, so you don't have to pay full price for them. Would you like to know something funny? New edition of Dungeons and Dragons is out. So all of the books from 5th edition gone.
Wait, so they're only out for a limited amount of time?
Gone.
Holy shit. Okay.
They are no longer there. They are no longer there for purchase. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure they can't access them anymore.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they moved D&D Beyond just to like the 2025 rules.
Wow.
Fun thing about the 2025 rules. I don't like them.
What's this? So is this one of those things where like there's like a like a council of people that make these decisions?
Yeah,
of
Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast. They sit up in their tower, their dark tower on top of the mountain where it's always raining and storming and there's lightning, and they say, "What can we do? What can we do to pry more money out of our players?" And they almost always land on a new edition with different rules. And every 10 years or so, they release new rules. They don't have to do that.
They can just keep things how they were working.
Fifth edition was fine, by the way. When it came out, 5th edition was flawed. So instead of releasing a new edition, they just added extra rules to it. And sure, you had to buy the $50 book to get the new rules. But like, you could also just look at it online, which everybody does.
Yeah.
Look at it online, everybody.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is especially is like being able to have, like have easy access to something that's so involved and so intense and like, a lot of fun. Like, because to me, it's one of those, I never pulled the trigger on ever doing D&D only because I already have 3 things that happen weekly.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the same hand is that it's something that does intrigue me. It's something that's cool to see.
Make no mistake. One day I'm gonna get a big table in here and we're gonna do a one shot.
I would love to do a one shot. That'd be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna cook up something stupid, something stupid and comedic for you guys. I know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna be a bard where you can cast a spell called Vicious Mockery, where you insult somebody and do psychic damage to them.
Oh dear God. So just calling them the worst thing, essentially pennywising them. You can just pennywise them and then you'll defeat them.
Yeah, like I'm forgetting the specific insults from Baldur's Gate 3, which is also a great. Baldur's Gate 3. Play that game. It's $60. There's no DLC. You get everything out of the $60.
Impossible.
And it's just all it's 5th edition rules. It's all Dungeons and Dragon rules. They didn't make anything up for the sake of the game. They made a couple things up for the sake of the game. But they were so good that I've put them into tabletop.
No shit.
They redid the Paladin class altogether. It's so much better than it is in the book. Paladins take their oath at level 3.
See, so
Paladins get their power from their oath.
So it's what I always remember from Paladins was watching The Darkness Rising or Darkness Rises, where he's like, God, I love Paladins. This like that type of thing.
They're lawful stupid.
So they're what was it? They're loyal to a fault.
They take an oath, and it's not always a good oath. Sometimes it's a really shitty oath. But they're bound to follow the precedents of that oath. They're bound to follow the precedents of their oath, and essentially, if they break that, they have to go repent and say a bunch of Hail Marys before they can cast their spells again. Otherwise, they're just another guy in armor with a big sword.
So they're the religious guild of the Dungeons and Dragons world.
Essentially, yeah, but like not all of them are like Sir Osric and loyal to the Queen of Light. Some of them are loyal to like I'm forgetting the god of the ocean. I know it's not
Poseidon.
No, it's not. No, it's not Poseidon. All of the Greek and like Norse gods are like they're kind of canon, but like they're not like the main gods of like the ocean and stuff. I can't. No, that's name is. I know it's not Tempest. I always thought it was Tempest because his name sounds like Tempest. And that would make sense. Tempest is the god of something else completely that I don't know.
Well, don't worry, I won't make you try to remember all of them. So,
but no, if you got a paladin of the god of storms, then he's not so much concerned with not torturing somebody for information, because when a storm happens, it just kind of strikes lightning everywhere.
He just gets what he wants.
Well, he doesn't always get what he wants.
I mean, in some situations where he's like, I can make do what I need to.
If you want to make a strong character who can do some damage in Dungeons and Dragons, go with Tempest Cleric.
Tempest
Cleric has a fun ability where if they cast a spell that does lightning damage, they can pray to their god once a day to just roll the max amount of damage instead of rolling for damage.
Oh shit.
So when you hit somebody after you've hit roll for armor class, that it's roll for damage, and that damage, all those dice that you roll could possibly land on one. So a lightning bolt could end up doing just like 3 damage, plus your like spellcasting modifier, which is usually 5 or something.
So you would expect it to be like on a standard, probably more dangerous than that. But I guess
a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
but so. Well, okay, lightning bolts are different. Witch bolt. A witch bolt.
A witch bolt, okay.
A witch bolt is a level 1 spell that you just like you whip them with lightning.
It's like all you're gonna do is throw a witch bolt at me. You're nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. A lightning bolt is a bit different. If you're in the row of if you're in the way of a lightning bolt, you have to roll to save.
Oh shit.
And if you do save successfully, well, congratulations. You're only taking half damage. Not no damage. Because you were still in the direct path of a lightning bolt.
In the path of God saying, hey, stop it.
In the path of
stop
me.
existing.
In the path of me. Saying, I cast a lightning bolt.
Well, right, but this would mean that in every universe you have, you are God. You can do whatever you want.
I prefer to call him Steve.
Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
So Steve is the name of God?
No, the omnipotent being that makes everything happen all the time when it's convenient.
Is this like Tobuscus's, roll the final clip, Steven, or that type of thing?
Yeah. Let's get friend of the pod, Tobuscus.
No, I have never met Tobuscus ever. So trust me, he would not care about who the hell we are.
Kyle, don't worry, nobody really cares about him anymore.
Yeah, no, but either way, to bring us to a close, man. I think that honestly, it's one of those that getting to further discuss things with you down the road and getting like, I think that even doing like a game and everything would be a lot of fun. Doing you said they're called a one shot?
A one shot. Where you complete the whole thing in one shot.
That's now typically how long do those last? If you had to guess, like let's say that if we focus, we're like, all right, like we're going to stay on the path that you want us to go.
3 to 6 hours.
3 to 6, dear God. Well,
I could shorten it.
I would say give me about an hour and a half. See if we can do like give us like a simple hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, an hour and a half.
You want us to do nothing?
What? Nothing?
You want us to do absolutely nothing the whole time?
I wouldn't say we do nothing, but that's just me.
You want an hour and a half for everything?
Is this your whole what am I, a joke to you?
Am I a fucking joke to you? You're only giving me an hour and a half? I told you today, I texted you today that that it's been a while since we've had a talk as brothers, and that I needed to speak with you in confidence. You brought me in here and started setting up podcast equipment around me.
That's it. I am the conniving evil brother.
Let me tell you something. When I was 7 years old playing baseball on the diamond in first grade, I was gonna catch that fly ball. I was gonna catch it. All right. It was coming for me. And who do I see out of the corner of my eye running at me with a metal baseball bat? Kyle Wright. He strikes me in the kneecap, and he leans in, and he says, "Nobody will ever believe you." And he runs away, and I didn't catch that fly ball.
But hold on. Who was I can't even talk. Who was throwing this fly ball?
I don't remember.
So if
Somebody from Norton, probably.
So hold on. You're saying that a fly ball was thrown, and to which I hit you with a bat.
Yeah. You're trying to pretend like you don't remember it right now. He's never admitted to this, and he probably never will.
Oh my God, you fucking kill me.
You almost killed me.
Oh my God. All right, well, before this goes any further and any more incriminating, I think we're going to bring this to a close for the day.
Thanks everybody for watching the Cavecast, the only podcast. The only podcast.
The only one?
The only one.
The only one that exists?
There.
Joe Rogan's out of the job?
Joe Rogan, Fear and...
As you plug every other
Take It Easy.
Oh, God.
Fucking whine about it. Those podcasts don't exist.
Is this going to be like Ice-T just saying things as the credits go on?
Yeah. Can we have the credits roll right now?
Either way, dude, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Is there anything you want to be able to tell them before we officially sign off?
Everybody right now, if you have a gambling problem and your parents or family have been telling you to stop, you're right there. You're almost on that win. If you stop right now, you'll never get that big win. You'll never get it, okay? You're almost there. Just keep gambling.
Oh, God. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Devin, thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
Not a problem at all.
It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Adios.